Alright. Now, this is what happens if you walk, if you go to the site visit, you will see something that is not properly done. Like there's a rubbish is not collected, there's a hole is not patched up. So those kind of things you can report directly by using here. Now, the other thing is where you have this kind of checklist. I will show you guys how to create this kind of checklist. It's very simple to create this kind of checklist. Now, normally the customer will have this kind of manual pen and paper to do the work. Let me see if I have the sample here. Now, this is what happened in the traditional way or the current method that all the engineers, subcon, maincon is using. They have all this kind of A4 paper. They will go to the site and do the marking, take an identity. If they realize there's an issue, they will mark it up, there's an issue, use the iPhone phone to take a picture, and then go back to the office, do the scanning, attach the photo, and send it to the subcon by emails and so on. Now, we are moving all this kind of manual way into a digital format. Alright? Pen, paper, camera, scanner, everything, we do it in one device. Alright? Now, if I go back to my iPad here, I show you how the thing works. I will show you guys how to create that. Now, for example, this one here, I have something that is assigned to me. Yes. Let me just cancel this one. Alright. Now, from here, there is have a list of checklists that I need to go through, in progress, not started, completed, and so on. Now, here, you can assign to someone to do the checking. Let's say, for example, I'm the supervisor. I'm not going to do all the stuff checking by myself, but instead, I'm going to ask someone or all the workers to go in to do the checking. Now, me as a manager, I can assign to someone else to do the checking and give them a due date. Alright, I'll show you guys that on. But the workflow here is instead of using pen and paper, all they need to do here is do the tapping. Alright, not applicable because I'm doing a certain thing. Checking on the exhaust and realize that there's an issue. Alright, there's a damage over there. I click on negative. I raise the issue like what we did earlier on. Put in the root cause, put in the photos, attention to the subcontractor for them to rectify, and so on. Now, what will happen here is the consultants, everyone will receive a notification saying that, hey, there's an issue, it's been raised, go in and have a look. Alright, so basically I can just quickly go to the field issue here. Alright, and I can say that, hey, there's one exhaust issue that's open, assigned to the SD contractor, there's a photos, everything, and there's an activity over here. Now I can go in and comment, put in the photos, put in my comments, and I rectify the work. By the time I rectify that, I can change the status to work completed, ready to inspect, in dispute, close, approved, or void. So it depends whatever the status is. Alright? So these are the workflow that is being done, and normally the question from your customer is, they say that, hey, is it anyone can change the status from one to another? Can anyone go in and change that, hey, ready to inspect, change to in dispute, and so on? The answer is no. Only creator and the one that you assign to can change the status. Only these two persons. No one can go in and change the status. Alright? I can change it I can change it now because I'm the creator. Alright? If I'm not doing it, then anyone that attached to SD contractor only can change the status. Alright? These are the workflow that is being done. Now, at the same time as well, you can key in your daily logs. Like for example, today, what is the weather in Ho Chi Minh? Because this project, I set it up. The location is in Ho Chi Minh. You can see the weathers, everything, and then I can put in the label. Like for example, today, the SD contractor, I have about 8 workers there, and the total hours they work is about 16 hours. And I have another one, essential engineering, only 2% is there, and they only work for 8 hours today. So I can create all these kind of things inside there. Now this one is quite useful, especially when you want to keep track your subcontractor performance, the status on what is going on site today, and as well you can make use of this kind of report for the progress payment as well. Alright, it ties back to the certain things so that you can see whatever that is going on. Now, this is what is happening on site. Alright, you're using the iPad or iPhone to do that. Now, let's go back into my tab here. Okay. Now, if I'm someone that as a manager, I'm not going to start yet.
Sorry, but just now you're showing the worker, the labor, human count,
Yep.
and the working hours, right? Is it possible we do something like an API to the biometric system or something like that? Because on site there are some biometric system we keep track of all this already.
I don't think we can enhance to that kind of advance, but I'm not going to say that it's impossible. Because being 360, we have the Forge platform at the bottom there. I'm not the expert of Forge. I don't know how far, what is the extent that we can develop the API on top of that. But it's one of the things that it could be. All right. Where was I just now? Okay, now I go back to here. Let's say that I'm the project, I'm the manager. I'm not going to go to the site to do the thing, but in fact, I will just look at the summary, look at the reports directly in BIM 360. What can I do here is I can go into here and say that, hey, I want to look at the issues on the field management, and again, I can export it into PDF or in the CSV format, right? To look at the summary. This report here is quite useful because I can do a filtering, what is pending, what is going on, who is not responding, and so on. I can do those kind of filtering and filter out and start to do a site meeting the next day. Alright? Now, those are the things that is capable on field management. Now, I showed to you guys how to do that in field. Things is very simple. If I go into the field management here, okay, we have a new set of who can access the field management. All right. Now, if you look at here, why we create another set of the permissions? Why we are not using the old one that we created the general one? The reason is very simple. All right. I have tons of people during construction. I have manager, I have workers, I have supervisor, I have subcon, I have bangla, I have foreigners, everyone bookings on that one. Now, for me to do that, I'm not going to open up all the permissions or all the system for them to use. Alright? It might be someone go in and screw up my template, and it could be someone go in and screw up my checklist. But in fact, here I can give them the rules. Alright? Basic rule, full controls, or what kind of rules that they want to do. Now, over here we have basic, view all, create, view and create, and full control. Now, if I'm the manager, all right, I'm not going to touch on the template, so I only set myself as a view all, all right. But I set my workers or the coordinator as a full control, view and create at the templates level. But this coordinator, their roles is to create the template, but they're not supposed to touch on the issue. They're not supposed to touch on the checklist. So I can close down their control. Alright? This is one of the reasons that why we have this kind of sets of controls levels over here. Okay? Now, it's very simple. You can click on your project admin, go to the services, go to the field management. This is the way that you can do the setting. Alright? Remember I mentioned to you the location, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5. This is the set that you can do it. You can set it up over here. I can set it up saying that Tower A, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Tower B, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. I can have those kind of things over here. To create that is very easy. I can use the level and areas. Okay? The levels and the areas, it means that the folders, the hierarchy. Alright? First of all, I can have my levels here. It's called projects. Alright? Let me just click on this one. Alright? Now, I can have the new area here, and at bottom new area, I can have a level. So, you guys know how the thing works, right? Like for example, I can say that tower A, tower B. Under tower B, I have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. And under level 1, I can set it as zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, and so on. We can do those kind of segregations directly from here. Alright? Let me just do a sample example. I'm not going to type in anything, but I can have those kind of sub hierarchies to go down. Depends how you want to define your construction construction zonings and so on. Alright? Now, field management is simple. You set the permissions, you set the location. The next thing you need to do here is you need to set the checklist. The checklist is very simple. I don't have time to go through you guys today, but I will upload the template so you guys to play around. Now, to create a checklist is very, very simple. All you need to do here is go to the template. This is where you can create the type, safety, commissioning, QA, QC, punch list. Alright, you can do whatever that you want. It supports all kind of languages. I tried out on the Thai language, it works. I tried out on the Vietnamese language, it works. Chinese, it works. Japanese, it works. So basically, we covered most of the languages. Alright. Now, all I need to do here is I can just create a new template. This new template here is to type in manually one by one. Alright. Now, I should do one of the example first. Let me pull out one of the example that done by the Jardine. I like to use theirs because theirs is simple and easy to understand. Now, over here, it will split up into 3 parts. Alright? 1 is a project details. Date of inspection, project name, where is the locations that you want to do inspection, drawing number, blah, blah, blah. Alright? Second part here is the list that you need to go through. Today, I want to do a ductwork inspection. Do I want to do it at the car park? Do I want to do it at the kitchen? Do I want to do it at the certain levels and so on? I want to check on the QA, QC, visible damage. Then third, is it the right installation, the thickness, blah, blah, blah. Alright? The third part here is where you're going to approve, pass, fail, digital signature, done, everything. So we have 3 parts here. Now, come back to here first. Now, if you go and meet up with the customer, this is quite common that you fill up these 3 parts here. The first part, right? The customer said that, hey, why can't I key in all this kind of thing? This is where you're going to tell them that, saying that, hey, look, in BIM 360, why do I need to fill up my project name, project number, inspection reference, and so on? Because everything is already done. Because we control by project, and we already control by the information in the project. All these kind of things is redundancy. Date of inspection, you already done that because when you lock in the checklist, you will capture your date. Alright, and you cannot lie, you cannot cheat on that one. Location, we have that covered because we can create our locations. Now, I skip the part 2 first. I go to part 3. Now, part 3 here is where you will control this document where the pass fail, inspected by who, signed by who, and so on. Now, if you look at our current BIM 360 view, field management, we covered the information inspected by who, verified by, inspected by who, and so on. The only thing that we don't cover is the each signature and also the result. Right? These 2 things we did not cover at this moment. But the argument here is, I don't think any country in ASEAN accept digital signature yet. Right? In Vietnam, you have a regulation, you need to print out in physical copy, alright, for the authorities to do a checking. I think it happens the same for other countries as well. Sorry? Yeah, Singapore accept that, but Singapore they have the system backend there, done by the BCA and so on. Regardless, we use digital signature, it doesn't go in unless you develop the API to run on top of that. That one is the next step of the story. Now, this is the argument, but we are putting in the digital signature soon. Alright? Now, what can you do over here is, now, let's go back into step 2. Step 2 is split it into 2 parts, segments and also the details. Like for example, the segment here is called duct standards. Right? They have a list, they have a general QA/QC down here, and they have a segment called access panel, they have a system called fire rated ducting. right? We have all those kind of things over here. Now, all you need to do here is you need to convert it into the field management. The title here is this one. Let me just do it side by side. The title here is this one, no visible damage to install the ductwork and so on. Alright, description, if you want to put a description to let the supervisor or the checkers know what is going on. And what is this? Is it a quality? Is it a punch list? Is it safety or commissioning? Alright, now you can fill up all this kind of information here one by one manually, or you can import your checklist. As long as you have in Docs or in Excel, it's very simple. I should give you the template over here. Now, there's a two options. One is you can import the Excel template, or existing BIM 360 field user. You can use the field template and import into here. Right? My suggestion is never use this one. Alright? It will cause you a lot of errors. Alright? In somehow the template that you have in BIM 360 field, they cannot read that kind of format. Alright? Because BIM 360 field is reading rows and columns. And somehow when you generate in old field, when you put it here, it will cause you a lot of problems. What I suggest you to do here is do a new set. Right? All you need to do here is we have a samples here that you can download and you can refer how the system works. I showed you guys on the template here. Now, things are very simple. I think they created 5 columns for you to fill it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The item, the response required here is something that you want to do. Now, template name. Right? Template name. This is a template name. Inspection checklist. Right? All I need to do here is I can just copy and put it under here. Alright? So let me just do it side by side again. This is the template name. Alright? And everything it should be a template name because this is the template. Now, you're gonna tell them that this is a QA/QC, is it a commissioning, is it a safety checking, and so on. So this one is a quality checking, this is a QA/QC, so I remain as a QA/QC. Alright? Now, we have a section and we have the item tags here. This is a section, duct standards. So I can key in here, call it as a duct standards. Alright? The bottom here is, I can write in here is saying that ducts up to 750 mm, blah 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 and so on. So I will key in all these kind of things over here. Description is optional. You want to key in a certain information, you can do that. If you don't want to do that, you can leave it empty. Now, this response type here is the one for you to control. What is that thing, that row? Alright, is it a sections? Is it a yes or no? Is it a plus minus, not applicable and so on? How you fill it up, it will automatically reflect your BIM 360 template, which is, for example, the ductwork inspection here. Now, when I click into here, alright, ductwork inspection, that one is a title name, alright? Here, ductwork standards, this is a section, and this is the item list, alright? And plus, minus, negative, NA, not applicable, is here. So you can see the link right now, alright? It's very, very simple, alright? Now, if I go into here, I lower down, I have a section called general. So all I need to do here is type a general, change this one to a section. And then the rest of the thing, I say that is it a text, is it a yes, plus, minus, and so on. So that is how the system works, and that's how they do the reading.
JC, yes, a question. So the structure should be in hierarchy, is it?
Yes, it should be in hierarchy. So top to bottom, which is this one, top to bottom. Now, on the left hand side, on the right hand side here, there's a true and false. Alright? If you want to make that one as a required, or it's a compulsory to fill up, or it's a optional. So if a compulsory, you change it as true. If it's optional, you change it as a false. Alright? Now, the response type here, you cannot simply type in saying that, hey, I don't want to use plus minus, I don't want to use yes, no, I want to use yay, blah, something like that. So it's not possible. At this moment, we only read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 option. Text, plus minus, yes, false, pass, fails, and so on. Now, remember I showed you this one here, the result, we don't cover, but there's a workaround. I can play around with this list here. The last row, I can say that, hey, the result for this checklist, pass or fail or not applicable. So I can play around with this one here.
So you have to put it as a section.
As one of the section, no, part of the list. Because sections, you cannot do the tapping. Section is just to help you to categorize the area. Where was I? This one. So, like for example, section dark standards. I have 6 items under dark standards.
But you don't want to then list down.
Yeah, I create another section. I say that results of the checking, and then another one I can say that the result pass or fail.
So over here you don't force them to answer with there's no response required.
Yes, so depends on how you want to do it. All right. That is a workaround. It's not a perfect workaround, but at least we have some things to show to the customer. All right. Now, any questions on the field management? Yep.
Okay. First is, can you customize the root cause?
No. At this moment is as it is.
Second is, on the location part, can you use Excel to import into the location?
We are doing up the linkage with the Excel, but at this moment, this release, no. We still have to type in manually, but we are coming out that you can import the Excel into it.
Okay. The last one is the report of this one. Can you match the exact format that customer had?
Alright. In terms of the report, this is a tricky part. Existing BIM 360 view, you know that our strength is the reporting. We can generate summary, details, graph, bar, by projects, by consultants, and so on. Now, the report that we can do it here is only a very simple report. Is something like this. Just to tell you the checklist or the issue, what is the status, I title, assign, issues, and so on. It's not something that we can do just like our classic field at this moment. Alright? We are building up the enhancement. That's why you can see that our status there as a preview, not as a final release. And we are doing a lot of enhancement on the field and glue at this moment.
So, for the, those customers have purchased now, they cannot use the previous version of it.
No, they can.
They can?
Yes, they can. So, again, depends on your customer. Let's say that I have a customer that want to use the new field, even though we have so much limitations. The reason because we have the docs behind that. They can store the document from design up to the construction. But we have meet up with a customer like main contractor. They don't care about the design phase. They only care about the site inspection, field management, so on. They use the old BIM 360 field. So regardless, existing or the new user, they will have both access, old and new. So for this case, you really have to sit up the customer and see what is their needs. Alright, I'm sorry guys, it's running out, but let me just quickly cover up 2 more things. In your BIM 360 build, we have the project management. I think everyone is pretty familiar with this one, RFI and submittals. RFI is simple. We have the workflow is ready in there. Oh, I'm using Azari account. No wonder I don't have the project admin. Alright, if I go into here, I go into project management. You can see we have the RFI, creator, reviewer, approval, or the creator manager reviewer, or creator manager reviewer 1, reviewer 2. Now, a lot of customers asking us saying that, hey, why so limited? Why we only 2 have workflow? Then you ask them a question back, how you do RFI workflow? Is there anything different that from these 2 workflow? The answer is no. Most of the general workflow is based on these 2. Alright, and we can customize it, who will become the creator, who will become the manager, who will become the reviewer 1, reviewer Right? I can control it this way, make it flexible enough to control our RFI. Right? Sometimes customer will just complain for the sake of complaining, but if you look at our workflow, it's good enough for them to use that. Unless there's a certain condition that we have a 5th level, 6th level, then it's a different story. Now, submittals is the same thing. We have the ready workflow in your submittals. You don't see there's a workflow settings in here, but it's already embedded at the back there. Alright. I tried to do the workflow settings. I'll do that over the weekend. I send across to you guys, but the process is very simple. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people in each submittals process. Alright, let's look at number 2. Number 1, you can ignore that. Alright, first of all, the manager will create an item, submitter items. They say that, hey, this submitter item contains such and such PDF and drawings. Alright, and they submit it. Alright, the submitter item will go to the responsible contractor. Responsible contractor will receive the item and then they add information, they add the PDF, anything that they want to do that, and they will click submit back to the manager. Alright, the status will automatically change. Now, once they're done that, the manager will review again whatever the contractor fill in the information to make sure that all the requirements or the questions or the request is being addressed. By the time they feel that, hey, everything is in order, they will create a package based on this item. Alright, this package, it will contain all the submittals item and send it to the reviewer. Alright, reviewer and will review the package. Of course, you can have the co-reviewer at the bottom there. I will not really go into details on that one. By the time it's done, the next thing here is the reviewer and say that, hey, everything is in order. I will just approve this package. Now, the options that we can have it here is reviewer. Let's say that the item, you have 5 PDF or 6 PDF. They can review each of it, they can do a markup, and they can approve certain or portion of the PDF, not all. Right? Sometimes that there's a few drawings is okay, there's few that is not in order. I can send it back to the manager to give me a new set of the drawing based on that 2 options.
Question. For the manager and reviewer, right? In terms of the customer persona, does the manager and the reviewer is the main contractor or?
Normally, manager, it might be the project managers and so on to control that. The responsible contractor could be the main con. And then the reviewer. The reviewer, it could be the architects, engineers to do that because they want to review if the information is correct and so on. They will verify, they will confirm all the items, all the package, everything is in order. Once they've done that, they will send it back, the whole package back to the managers. What the managers is to say that, hey, everything is in order, now they're going to distribute out to all the people. Distribute to the subcon, distribute to the main con, distribute to all the relevant parties.
So this one could be the construction manager or the site manager?
Yes, you can do that. Alright. What we will do here is I will create a workflow to show it to you guys in the Excel point, and I will write in the description who is the manager, who is the contractor, and so on, so that you guys can refer to. Alright. Now, last round. Any questions? Yep.
Within the same project, right, can we have multiple workflow for transmitter or submitters?
No. For each project, you only can choose what type of RFI that you want to do. Alright. Whether it's 3 levels or 4 levels. Submittals is pretty much fixed at this moment. We are working on it. If you go to the BIM 360 Idea Station, someone raised that to have the option just like the submittals, just like the RFI. The product team is working on that. I don't know when they will release it, but at this moment it's hard-coded in there.
Sorry, then just now, you mentioned that docs and field can raise in a different manner for the issues, right? You have shown us marking out on the doc platform. Can we do that for field platform as well?
Field.
Uh,
Field
on 3D
here.
model or even
Field here, no. You only can do the issues, field issues, not the markups.
so you can't do any markup at all.
You can do a markups, but if you drop under a general markup, and it doesn't make sense for you to do a markups during construction. Because if I do a markups on the drawing, who gonna react on my markups? All the subcontractor will say that no, it's not belongs to me, it's not my responsibility. Main concept that I don't know what is this markup for, is it for the design stage, is it for the construction stage and so on. That's why you need to raise the field issue directly from there.
Any questions?
For the predefined value like a row or something, how can I add another or new one?
Or the field,
Um,
the checklist.
yeah, check
Alright,
row.
I know in last time the field we can add more parameters, but for this space here for build, no, it's hardcoded only 6. Actually it's 5. The other one is the responsibility whether it's compulsory or optional.
Sorry.
Casey,
Yep.
so when I upload a RVT file into 360, right, either one of the workflows, does Revit materials follow in as well?
In terms of the 3D model,
Yes.
no. You can see if you look at it, it's more like something like shaded. It's not the real material. It's not the materials that you map to it. You can zero it.
Basically, if you click on, let's say, one item there.
Yeah. You can only look at the properties,
Yeah.
alright, on the materials and so on, but it will not show it to you in physical.
Okay, then what if I create a new material as well, not a Revit material, a new material?
Yeah.
Will I still have the properties
It will show it to here
with
because
a bit of the color?
no. If you only detect the, in Revit we have the, what is it again? Long time I didn't play with the material. We have 3 levels, right? One is the model's color. The second one is the material, and then the third one I think is the hatching, something like that. It will detect the model's colors.
Yeah, my suggestion there is if you really find it critical in your, let's say, approval process that the customer wants to see realistic materials and rendering, my suggestion is usually A360 rendering and just dump it there or give them the link. Yeah, this is not meant for visual output. Yeah.
Another reason why we cannot do that is because we want to make sure the models is light enough. If you start to show the materials, it gets the thing heavy.